Hey guys, Afshin again, and welcome back to another Vex Onshape tutorial. Today we're diving deeper into making more advanced plastic parts, specifically focusing on how to use some of Onshape's curved features to level up your guys' designs. As always though, if you're new to Onshape and want to learn how to start building a robot or making drawings, check out the playlist in the top right. But anyways, let's get straight to the video. Alright, so as you guys probably saw, we're making a basic ramp in Onshape. And to do that, essentially we want to actually start looking at it from the side. So I'm going to start from the right side and create a sketch. From there, we want to start with essentially the base plate for how the plastic is going to mount to something. So obviously there's different ways to do this, but to start, I'm just going to have it mount on this little rectangle, and then from there we can have it mount to a little piece of metal below that. But for that, say we want this to be one hole wide, so then we can just set this to 0.5. Because typically when you have a singular hole, you want half an inch of material around it. So, and then we can set this to the plastic thickness, 0.065. And then from there, we can utilize our curves. So for this, we want a curve kind of going this way because we want, the game piece to go up kind of like that. So we can set our curves, and I usually like to use the center point curve for this. I find that that's easiest and nicest to use, but there's a bunch of curves over here: 3-point, tangent, center point, elliptical, conic. You could also use a circle and then just cut the circle. So whatever you guys want to use, but as I said, I like to use center point. It just looks nicest to me. From there, I would make this tangent so that it comes into a line. So before, if you look at it, no matter what, we can move it in a way where it would come over that line, which is something you could want for other ramps. But for this ramp, for example, I'm gonna have it so it comes straight into that line. So we can use our tangent tool for that. Oh. And now that we have that tangent, now we want to set exactly where we want our ramp to start and end. So you could just move this freeform however you want and set this, especially if you're editing in context. If you guys don't know how to do that yet, a video will be linked in the top right. Check that out. But just for now, since we're not editing in a context, we're just gonna set the length and distance based on numerical values. So we can go here and say we want this to be an inch down, and then we can set it to be, say, 3 inches forward. So now when it creates the ramp, the ramp will look something kind of like this, and this lets you envision it before you actually start bending or cutting plastic. Because one thing, when you bend plastic, it's really hard to bend it back. So typically you want to know exactly what you want before you start bending. But anyways, now everything is white except this little blue dot. So now we want to set exactly where we want this to be. While you guys could set it anywhere along this curved path as you guys want, you guys could think of this as essentially the top of the plastic. So to do what I usually like to do though is I'll set this horizontal to this one, so you can use that by clicking H for the hotkey and setting that. And then now, since there's no gray inside, you have to actually close the curve. So that means putting a line at the end so it makes it an actual shape. And now that it's closed, everything's white. We can check mark, click Shift E to get that pop up for extruding. And now we can extrude it to as much as we want. For this example, we'll be extruding at 4 inches because if we look into the pin specifications, the diameter is about 3 inches. So you want your ramp to be something like 4 inches or 3.5 inches, just to be able to encompass all of that while not using too much plastic. And then from there, you can just click check mark and you have a basic ramp. But from there, we can show you some more tools, and basically we can curve this point, and that will make it so that it's easier for the ramp to go up. Now, there's a few tools you can use here. You can use a chamfer tool, which won't curve it per se, but it will create like a little angle. So if I say 0.1 or 0.05, then you can see it creates a little angle, but that doesn't really help it that much. So to adjust that, instead of that, we can use a fillet, and that basically creates a small little curve here. And this is something you usually want to do at the ends of all your pieces. So usually when I'm making a piece, like I would fillet the end of there, I would fillet the end of there, and then just make that look nice later. But for now, we're just going to be filleting this end, and we can set this to 0.0625 looks good. So that'll essentially create a little curve. So when it goes up there, it will, instead of hitting that, it will use this little curve to more easily go up. And now that we have that, the last thing we have to do is make our holes in the actual piece to mount. So I'm going to create a sketch up here. And yeah, while you could use circles and then cut out the circles from there, I like using the hole tool. So first you'll find the center. So that's the center of this line. You can see it by the little yellow square, and then the center of this line. So then we want to see where they meet, and it'll automatically show. And now we have that. And then say we want to make 4 holes. So, or not 4 holes, say we want to make 3 holes. So then we'll have 1 hole an inch away from each of the sides and each of the other holes. So that'll be 1 inch, and then this will be 1 inch. And then we can use our hole tool, and when we use our hole tool, we can use this exact size of hole. Keep in mind, this one is the exact size for if you are drilling for screws. If you guys are looking to do, for shafts, I believe it's #16, but this one will exactly fit the screws. So we can click check mark, and now we have our holes and we have our funnel. So this is a basic way to create this ramp. If you guys learn anything, let me know. Let me know any other videos you guys want to see. If you want me to go over any tools in specific, I can do that as well. So just at me down below in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, the whole shebang. You guys already know it. But anyways, have fun, and we'll see you guys next time.